What's up guys, me Mo here. So I'm gonna talk briefly with you about content creation. So I've been enjoying making fitness content creation more than anything. I will get back into my skincare makeup type deal, but for now I'm having a blast doing fitness because I love doing fitness generally, but the fitness content creation is just really satisfying. Although I'm getting a little bit bored, I just have to get more creative. But I want to show you how I do edits like this. So it's just going to be a talk through video because basically you want to try and get, depending on the platform, a certain type of vibe. And if you keep it kind of consistent, your viewers know what they're looking for. So I try to keep it kind of consistent like that. So I'll just try to and I'll spice it up a little now and again, trying to get a little good, that? Yeah. So like on YouTube Shorts, on my fitness channel, I like to do slightly longer because you can go up to a minute. But I don't really like making that long a video, especially if it's just a workout. It's just me doing, for an extended period of time. Because I be doing squats and, I don't think you want to watch me doing this for any longer than 10 seconds straight. So I'm not doing a minute. I usually do 20 to 30 second long videos. Sometimes a little lower depending on how I feel. And then on TikTok or Instagram, I alternate. I don't try to post everything the same. Like, I'm not going to post all three of the same or similar workout, Like, if I have footage, that footage is going on two platforms, YouTube and either Instagram or TikTok. That's how I do it. I just think that if you want to have people follow you, it's better to have each thing be its own thing and worth the follow or the subscription. YouTube, since it's 20 to 30 seconds, I tend to make each of the clips maybe an entire full rep. If I start here, down here, and down here, that's one rep. And then I'll go from there. It's a little bit longer, it's maybe 5 seconds per exercise, maybe less. But for TikTok, I will cut it off at either down and that's it. It depends. It has to be cut off at maybe, sometimes if I'm generous, 2 seconds, but 1 second clips basically from each angle of the workout. And for Instagram, it's the same because they're both going to be either you're getting it on Instagram or you're getting it on TikTok. You might as well follow me on both because you're going to get something somewhere. If you don't see something one day on one thing, you can check on the other thing and check it. That's what the vibe I'm trying to go for. And then YouTube is the premium version or the extended cut, just because I feel more comfortable posting slightly longer things. Like I do whole ass vlogs on my YouTube channel, so you might as well just watch a slightly longer short because it's still short, but it's a good amount of shorts. Anyway, let's get into the editing, and maybe I'll do a thing on the filming later. So this is the editing software I use. I prefer the mobile version of this because there is a desktop version because I like to edit on the go and it's much cheaper if you're starting out. So typically when I'm editing, I will go through and find any clip that makes sense and is a reasonable length for the video that I'm doing. So first things first, I will look at the clip, and usually there'll be a lot of dead space in the beginning of no action or not the proper action. Like for this, I had trouble opening the can because my nails were really long, but they're also pretty thick, so it's hard to open up the can. So as you can see, I am dragging the front of it in order to make it longer or shorter. And that's a good way to make it autocorrect so you don't have to move the clip forward and back. It just auto adjusts because that first layer will always be every clip will be flush with each other, one after then another. And what I would do is also I will split at the end and then delete the remainder if I have determined that nothing after that is important. So this, you'll see I'll take the clip down to my first time doing something, and I'll clip it there at what is my warm-ups. And then you see me flipping my hair. That's another cute little addition. So I'll clip it there, and then I'll go to find where I actually start my workouts, and I will always skip the first rep and then maybe the second rep if I don't have weird posture or a weird form going on. And I'll just record the entire rep. This is for my YouTube Shorts specifically, so I will do an entire rep. Sometimes I'll do 2, but lately it's just been 1 whole rep because I'll try my best to get my form good, so I'll do a slow rep. And then generally I would end this clip and then change my angle, and then ignore me, I'm killing a bug that snuck into my garage. And then I will record at a different angle the same exercise so it's not so boring to look at. But for this one, I think I stayed recording and I would just adjust the zoom so you can see me seeking with the little thing, and I'll cut it off at the beginning of the second rep that I do at this angle. It's the same angle, but I'm zoomed in more. And then I'll kind of end it at the end of that rep. And then I'll seek through just to see if I have a second angle, ignore me dancing. And then I determined that I didn't do anything but the same thing, but even at a wider angle out that I already did. So I just was redundant. And so I eventually just delete the rest of this clip because none of it is important. I was just goofing off, honestly. So I just go through it to make sure there's nothing of use. Me JoJo posing is not of use. I delete it. So now I am going through and I'm editing my calf raises. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'll go to the second rep that I do. But for this one, the second clip or the second half of my workout is not actually the same workout. So I'm going to have to make that work. But it's fine because it is not a different angle, so to speak. It's just a different kind of angle just because I move myself and not the camera. So I just record one rep. And for this, I recorded each leg because I did lunges, one leg, and then the other leg. And that's one rep for me. So in that same like logic, I do one rep and then I'll change the angle. And I did this one harder. Usually I would end the clip and then because I didn't know that clip is done and I jump right in. It's a lot less of this seeking. So if you want to record like that, like I usually do, I recommend it. So you don't have to do so much trimming like you see me doing right here. And you can just like click the split button you can see at the bottom and then just like find it and then clip it again and then do that. But you will have to manually go all the way to the back to the front of the clip like you saw it auto do it just now. After I was done seeking, when I let go, it'll just take me to the front of the clip where it should be. And then you see I end up at a completely different workout. But you know, you have to manually go back if you actually click the split button to do it. And I just try to because I had to go back. At first I was just going to do like one leg, and then I went back and was like, I'm going to do a whole rep. So I did that for both of them because I liked my YouTube shorts to be from 20 to 30 seconds. And I'm on my hip thrusts. Now I have a lot less good footage of my hip thrusts. So you'll see me trimming down to the actual workout part of it. I'll start at the bottom of the rep, find the middle, and then stop it at the end of the rep. And then at some point I do change the angle a little bit. I have to find that because again, I usually record and stop and then record again when I have adjusted the angle. And you can see here with this second angle is not as good, so I don't end up using it in the end because I'll try to like make it work. And I'll delete the rest of this because I know there's nothing else after this. The hip thrust is the last workout, so I'll just end that. And then there's some extra footage at the end that I ended up being like, this is trash, and I didn't like it. Yeah, I just deleted the whole thing. And then I'm going to the beginning, watching it through, seeing how it flows. And this is without the music as well. So you see, like, this is a good, like, concise, like, demonstration of the workout. And to keep you from getting bored, I will, like, add in some little clips of, like, me taking a sippy sip of my drink or flipping my hair and then showing from a different angle. So you get the idea that I'm doing this workout. So now that we've made the clips only feature the things we actually want in the video, I'm going to adjust some angles and some zooms. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So this one is fine. This one is also fine. I might zoom in. So yeah, so keyframes is something that you would use, but this is not a clip for that. So I'll have to go past that. Although I may adjust the zoom on some of these, like this one, I'll keep the aspect ratio the same. Zoom in so you know that the thing that I'm showing you in this clip is just simply that I'm moving my hair from underneath the barbell. Also stay alert of the tilt. It'll tell you the degree of tilt and you try to keep it on 0. And then this is me I'm going to show you how I do my reps. So I'll do the first keyframe, the little diamond you see. I'll show you on this one. The first keyframe there at the top of the rep, adjust where I want the zoom to be, and then I'll do it again at the end. So that'll keep the same position. At the bottom of rep, I will make another keyframe, and then I'll adjust it to the bottom of the rep. And you see how it flows. It looks like someone's recording me and they're staying with me, when in reality, my phone's on a tripod or posted up somewhere. And I'll do that similar thing for the rest of my clips that require an up-down type of motion. And it adds a whole lot of it just feels really high end for the video. You see how it moves with me. And you see, I'll go at the top. Where do I want the clip? Do it like that. And I want it to end in the same thing because it adds a bit of visual symmetry. And then at the bottom or the top of the rep, as you see here on the calf raises, it's the top of the rep. And I'll mark it there. So there's only 3 keyframes that I have to worry about. And it'll go right back to where it was. So if I, for some reason, wanted to loop it, I definitely could. And then for lunges, top of the rep. And then here I switch legs, so I'll do it like 3 times for the top of the rep. And then I'll do 2 of the bottom of the reps. You'll see I put one here, and then I adjust it. It ends up being a little too far over for some reason, but that's a different issue I'll fix later. And you see I'll do it again for the bottom of rep and readjust it. And then we'll watch it through. And you'll see how it just flows with me. And then it goes back. It just adds a little bit more something when you don't have someone there to just like record you. And I'll do that for the rest of these clips, except for this one. I'll just zoom in so it's not so far out, because you see it's like super far out. And this pan and zoom, so you have to go to transform and then pan and zoom. This is a really easy way to do it. If you want like a slow pan or a fast pan or zoom, you can definitely do that, but it'll have to involve the entirety of the clip, which is why that small clip was really good for that. And you'll see I'll do the keyframes method again for the rest of them that are actual reps. But for the drinky drink, I think it would be really funny to be just like zooming in on me as I just take a nice little swig. It's just funny. I like random funniness. And again, this is going to be the bottom of the rep for the hip thrusts. Include as much of my leg as possible just to make it look like intentional. And then at the top of the rep, I didn't have a lot of good footage for hip thrusts, so I did what I could. And then we're going to watch the whole thing through once I'm done. Yep. And warming up, moving here, squat, slightly different angle, keyframes, different angle, squat, calf raises, and then lunges, sippy sip, lunges again. This is sped up, so if you're wondering why it looks so goofy, it's because it is. But then I'll go all the way to the top, and then this is me looking for music. Now, I don't think I'll be able to add any of the music that I want to, because of the fact that it's going to be probably copyrighted, but I'll add. So what I usually have is like screen recordings, and this is the one I ended up going with. So yeah, I was looking to see if there's anything else I might have wanted to do. And I just went with this one. And what I do is I go to the audio and then AI tools and then extract audio. There's no reason for it to be called AI tools. I've just been really on an AI tool kick lately. So yeah, I just kind of see how it syncs up, if it feels good with the beat and the length of the clips. And usually I'll keep it like that. It's at the beginning of the song, basically. So it just kind of works. I'll watch it through to make sure that the vibes are good. And then I'll end the song at the end of the clip. Try to keep it as the same as it possibly would be. And if you want to see like a loop, like a perfect loop type deal, that's going to be something I'll do in a different video, because I didn't end up doing it on this one. So the next thing we're going to do is add in a pop of sound. So I'm going to basically add in the sound effect of me opening that can. Now, I have a few favorites that I have favorited. You have a lot of free to use, just because we, pay to use the software, or at least I do. There are some sounds that you can use for free, some that you cannot. For my case, I can use these. I haven't not been a subscriber for a while, but So I have the opening of the can sound in the beginning, and it just adds a little something, because I'm going to mute the actual video clips because it's a lot of background noise, and I listen to music through my speakers most of the time when I'm doing my workouts. So it really is important to remember to mute everything. And then I saw here that my clip was like a little off. There was a little bit too much blackness coming in from the background. So I fixed that. But yeah, adding in like subtle sound effects is really good. Like I meant to add in the Minecraft drinking sound effect for when I was drinking. I actually do have a clip of that in my screen recording somewhere, but there's a lot of personal actual videos of me and my kids in there, so I'm not going through that right now. So anyway, I like to add font in the beginning so that people know what they're watching. I also like the font to be really pretty, so I have my favorites that I go for, and I have like a couple of them that I go to, so I don't have to sort through all of them, and I just like, oh, which one do I like today? And I like to break them up and have like 2 different fonts, because it just gives a good vibe. And I like the 2 fonts. I don't like to have too many layers on my video, so I'll just make spaces in between and then just like make it work. You see what I'm doing here? How I'm making one text, layer into like 2 separate text layers, and then I'll go through and I'll change their animation. I like it to look like they're being typed. Sometimes I'll add in the typing sound effect when it's happening. So I'll have the pop up and then I'll have the fade out. And they're both at the same length. Like defaultly, text will pop up as 5 seconds long. And I just left it at that because this is a slightly longer short video. So I left it at that so they both have the same default times. Usually if you have your clip set at a certain animation and font, it'll save it for your next video, because it's like, oh, you like using that, and it saves your preset kind of without asking or anything. So, keep that in mind. That's just something I've noticed. It didn't used to do that, but it just started. So yeah, and you can see how it just is, they're synced up together because they're the same length. And then I'm just adjusting. Oh, this is for my shorts version. So what I like to do for my shorts, and you'll see this, is I'll cut the workout clips in half. Especially for the squats, I'll go down, cut it at the bottom of the rep, go to the next clip, cut it at the bottom of the rep, but I'll keep the latter half where I have to go back up. And you'll see this right here at the lunges, how I'll make it look like one continuous rep from a different angle, as though I have camera people on 2 different angles. You see how I go down in one angle and come back up in a different. And because my hip thrusts only have one angle, I'll just simply shorten that. And I also move the sippy sip from in between the 2 angles so that it just doesn't interrupt the flow of the workout, because it is faster paced now. And I'm also clipping everything a little bit shorter down to just the part where I open it up. I'm doing that like a half a second or 1 second clip for that, and me flipping my hair. They're unimportant scenes, so they're going to have the shortest amount. So you see I go down and I move it to where I'm at the very bottom, so it's as in sync as possible. And then I come up and I have to try and keep them both to be a certain length. I think I'm trying to go for 1 second long of a clip, and then have them be as in sync as possible. You see I'm doing a full range calf raise that turns into a regular calf raise. And through editing magic, you can see that I could just make it kind of flow better. Just like this one, I'm just editing it to be 1 second long, so it's not kind of long and uneven. And it also helps when you're editing it to music, because music has a basic like metronome type deal. And if you stay on beat with the metronome in your head, it kind of works. And going by 1 second intervals or half second intervals, a minute and a half, having a certain type of like, all of my clips are this length or half of this length, kind of makes it flow a lot better. And then you can see how it kind of just flows together. Now, I would usually cut the music at the end of the clip. However, when it comes to the shorter form, I feel like I need a really good part of the song to grab the attention and then manage the replayability. Like, I don't want it to be the exact same video, as it's not, because I have edited it separately and differently. I also want the music to just have a separate vibe, but the same vibe, if that makes sense. So I spent a lot of time just trying to find the right part of the song. And of course, you cannot hear it, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to clip that out of here. But for the main part, it really is just like, after you're done, export it. Listen to it and go through it, export it. And then I will shorten the length of the text. And then, yeah. export it, and then upload it. Ignore that I'm in my closet. I was recording the voiceover, and this is the place with the best possible insulation and absorption of sound. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had fun making it because I love teaching. I will overload you with information, so if you have any questions, comment below. But also, you can watch it over and you just kind of try your best to pay attention to what I'm doing, because this is a really good app that I use because I've been using it for years and it just makes it super easy. So I hope you guys enjoyed. See you later. Bye.